Sorry, I think Fred has a question here.
Oh, go for it.
Oh.
It's really not a question. You know.
So, my name is Kim, and I work for the co-op. And this picture at the top of my screen, that's from ages and ages and ages ago, with all these old men in that picture, that's from 1844. And that's even older than me. That is the olden days, that picture. So everybody in that picture decided that it wasn't fair, because every time they went to the supermarket in 1844, when they went and bought butter, the supermarket person was watering it down so that it went a little bit further, so he could get a little bit more money out of his butter. But then because he watered it down too much, it then went a bit of a funny colour, so he had to make it back to the orangey, yellowy, buttery colour that we know now. So what he was doing was he was melting copper, and he was stirring copper into the butter. So it's not very nice. So when you bought your butter and your flour, because sometimes in their flour as well, sometimes in the flour was brick dust or chalk dust. So when you were buying your flour and your butter to make a birthday cake for somebody that you loved, you're actually poisoning them. So everybody in this picture decided that's not fair. Our communities deserve absolutely better than that. So we're all going to put in £1. And back in 1844, £1 was a whole week's wages. A whole week's wages. So imagine going to work from Monday to Friday and then giving your money away. That is how important they thought it was to have their first co-op shop. So they opened up the first co-op shop in Rochdale, so that's near Manchester, and they were going to serve honest food at honest prices. So that means that they weren't tricking anybody, they weren't putting anything extra in any of their ingredients, and they weren't bumping up the prices for no reason either. So the second picture, the green one a bit further down, the dark green section is where we have all of our shops now. So we have over 400 co-op shops now. And other than it being a little bit bigger, we're still exactly the same. So we as the co-op, we believe in values. And I'm sure as Woodcraft folk people, you do as well. And you should know all about them. And that means that we care for each other, that we have self-help and self-responsibility so that we look after ourselves, we look after each other, and we're honest to each other as well. And that's why we believe in fair trade. Because we like to care for everybody, whether they're in our country or somewhere else around the world. So I'm going to play you a quick video now, and then after that we'll stop for a break if everybody's happy. Okay.
Hola! That means hello in my language. I'm a banana from Colombia, a hot country far away. Breakfast is one of my favorite meals of the day. It keeps me super strong. But have you ever wondered where all the food you eat comes from? We know it comes from the shops, but where does it come from before it arrives at the supermarket? Did you know our food comes from all around the world? For example, orange juice comes from countries like South Africa, coffee from India, and nuts from Africa. And bananas comes from countries like mine, Colombia. Colombia is a hot, sunny country, and we bananas can only grow where it's nice and warm. But to grow really well, we need farmers to look after us. The banana farmers work hard to make sure the bananas grow and are ready to be taken to the shops around the world. The farmers spend a lot of time looking after the bananas. The banana trees are very important to them. Foncho is telling us that this tree is part of his family. He cares about it as if it were a person. So the farmers work hard to water the bananas, keep them safe from insects, and make sure each tree is healthy. When they are ready to be picked, the farmers climb a ladder and cut down a large bunch of bananas. The farmers farmers have to do this for lots and lots of bananas. It's hard work. Psst. Have you noticed the color of the bananas? They are still green, aren't they? Bananas don't turn yellow until they arrive in the shops in your country. Then the farmers carry bunches of bananas to the washing station. They are very heavy to carry. The bananas are checked and washed. Then they are put into boxes, ready for a big lorry to take them to a big boat. They travel across the sea on a boat for many days and nights. What a long journey the bananas go on. Once they arrive in the UK, the bananas go to a special room to turn yellow. Once they have turned yellow, they are loaded up onto big lorries and driven to supermarkets. And here are the bananas at their final destination, at the supermarket, ready to be bought. There are lots of other types of food in shops as well as bananas. Can you think of other foods that are sold in shops? Lots of farmers like Foncho work hard to grow all sorts of food around the world. Did you know that when people work, they get money given to them? This money is used to buy really important things, like food, a home, clothes, and medicines for when you get ill. But sometimes, farmers like Foncho do not get paid very much for all the hard work they do on their farms. Do you think that's fair? But there is something that can help make sure farmers do get given a fair amount of money. It is called fair trade. Have you seen this before? It's called a fair trade mark. What colors can you see on the mark? When you see a fair trade mark on some food or drink in the shops, it means the farmers who grew them got paid fairly for the work they did. Getting a fair amount of money means they can look after their families. So, thank you for joining me on this journey. We found out lots of things. We've learned that lots of our food, like bananas, comes from other countries around the world. We've met some farmers who grow our food and found out that they have to work really hard. And we know what this sign means. It's the fair trade mark, which means farmers are paid enough to look after their families. See how often you can spot the fair trade mark next time you are out at the shops? Adios, amigos!
Okay, so what did you think to my mate Pablo? He's amazing, right? He's amazing. So I think before we go into our little question round, I think we should have a little stop for a little bit. Thank you. So my mate Pablo, who can remember? You might want to use the chat function maybe, or you can unmute yourselves and shout out if you'd like to. My mate Pablo, where is he from? Where was he from? Owen, where is he from?
Colombia.
Colombia he was, well done. That was an easy one, wasn't it? That was an easy one. Okay, who can remember where orange juice comes from? Fairtrade orange juice, where does that come from? Oh, is it Fred?
Yeah.
Does it come from India?
India. One of our ingredients does come from India. Well done, that's really good listening. But where does our orange juice come from? Owen?
South Africa.
South Africa, well done. So you're going to take all of this knowledge to school, aren't you, this week? That's amazing. Well done. Okay, so what colour are the bananas in Colombia before they come over? Fred?
Green.
Green, absolutely. And then they come all the way over here on a boat. And then what colour do they turn when they go to the shops? Matthew?
Yellow.
Yellow. Well done, they do. They turn yellow.
If you listen
Absolutely.
to the video, then it says they go to a room that turns them into yellow, then they go to a shop.
That is super listening. Well done. Absolutely. So they go to a special room first, and then they come to the shops when they're yellow. Well done. Excellent.
Can I ask a question, Kim? If we went
course.
into that room, would we turn yellow?
It might take you a little while, but I think you might.
Okay, especially if I'm wearing my green jumper, right?
Especially. And the
Okay.
sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just checking.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. I'm going to be such a pro at this. Okay, so we can remember that extra money, can't we? So the extra money that you get for paying Fairtrade is called a social premium. So that is the money that the growers get for trading fairly with us. And that social premium means that those growers can buy their houses, they can fix their houses, and they can buy medicine for when they're poorly, they can buy food, which is really important. But you might want to unmute yourselves because I'm going to ask you one bonus question here, and Joe, you might remember this from last time, and Fred. So the social premium payment, what do you think was the first thing that our banana farmer bought with his extra money? Out of all of the things in the world, what do you think was the first thing they bought? Joe and Fred, what do you think?
They brought a pair of Wellingtons to keep the snakes and the poisonous things out from biting them on the bottom when they went through the dried leaves.
Maybe biting them on their feet, yes, but absolutely well done. Yes, they did. So that means that the workers on the farm, they didn't have anything to protect them from those snakes and those spiders that were on the floor. So that means that the farmer was having to pay for his workers that weren't even at work. So sometimes they were going home poorly, and then the growers couldn't do as much on their farm because they had people at home. So he thought the first thing, bear in mind, I wear my wellies when I walk the dog. I take them for granted, don't we? We wear them when we go and splash in puddles or when it's snowing outside. But in Colombia, they didn't even have such a thing. So the first thing they bought with their social premium was to make sure that their workers could be a little bit more safe when they were at work. Okay? So 93% of the UK population now recognises the fair trade mark. Is 93% quite 100%? It's not quite, is it? So it's not quite everybody.
Not at all.
Not at all, is it? Absolutely. So that means that you guys, it's your job, after we finish today, it's your job to go and talk about fair trade with everybody so that everybody can know a little bit about fair trade. Are you up for the task? Are you up for it? Yeah, I think you are. You know all the answers to the questions. So how does the co-op help with fair trade? Because we were the first ever shop to stock fair trade bananas and lots of other produce as well, that means that Sainsbury's and Tesco's, they were a little bit behind us, but they do now stock fair trade bananas. We also have own brand products, so all of our own brand products, where we can, is all fair trade. So all of our chocolates, all of our posh chocolates, they're all fair trade, and our coffee, all our own brand coffee, tea and sugar, it's all fair trade. So we're committed. We are committed. But we are committed because it's important to our customers. So because we're a co-op, we are owned by our members. So every time somebody signs up for a little one of those plastic cards, they own a little bit of the business, which is really exciting. But they find it really important that we are invested in fair trade and that we support it because it's important to them, caring for others, and it is the right thing to do. So how you guys can help is shout about it. So I've sent Lauren a little bit of a worksheet that I'm hoping she's going to share with you. And there's an activity on the end, which means you can make a poster or you can make some bunting or something like that. And then you're going to share it with anybody. Put the picture up in the window so that everyone can see it as they walk past. And you're going to tell everybody about fair trade. And then when you're in the shop next time, you're going to see how many Fairtrade marks you can see as you walk around the shop. So when you get to the orange section, orange juice, you can see how many of the orange juices come from South Africa, and the tea and coffee from India, to see if it's all fair trade. Okay, so I'm going to share with you another activity here. So, very boring first slide, apologies about that, my design team is slacking. So, this is my banana. Okay, and you can see at the top there, my banana cost 30 pence. Okay, so this is my unfair banana, all right? So that means that the banana worker, like Foncho in the video, gets 2p out of the 30 pence of my banana. And the plantation worker, so the guys that wash them and make sure they're all clean, they get 4 pence, so they get more than the growers. And the shipper, the guy that's on the boat, gets 5p out of my 30 pence. The importer, he gets 6p, so he's getting the most at the moment. But the supermarket gets 13 pence. Is that fair? Is that fair? No, I don't think it is fair. Big shake of the head, Owen. Absolutely. Big thumbs down. It's not fair. Boo. You love that. Yes, absolutely. Boo. So, the banana workers, you remember they have to have wellies because they've got snakes and spiders on the floor that can bite them, haven't they? And they have to climb all the way up the trees to cut down the bananas. They've got to carry them to the lorry. They're really heavy, remember? And then the supermarket workers who get 13p, and I've worked in a supermarket before, so I can vouch for this. All we've got to do is take a box off the lorry and put it on the shelf. So do you think we have as much risk as Foncho does in Colombia?
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Some big no's. Absolutely. So we might get a bit of a sore back if we don't lift it properly, mightn't we? But we might not die, mightn't we, from a snake bite. So this is my fair banana. It looks very much the same and it costs 30 pence. But my banana worker gets 6p. So is that better than it was before?
Yes, much better.
Much better. Lots of thumbs up there. So they were getting 2p. They're now getting 3 times as much. That's really good. The plantation worker is getting 6p as well, which is the same.
That's good.
But they're getting 2p more than they were before. The shipper gets 6p.
Good.
And the supermarket gets 6p.
Great.
And the importer gets 6p as well. So is that fair?
All equal. It's fair.
All equal. It is fair. Well done. Absolutely. So that means that our fair banana, everybody's got a fair slice of the banana, haven't they? So everyone is taking as much risk, but they're all getting paid fairly so that they can all pay their bills at the end of the day. Excellent. So that's my fair banana. So next time you go into the co-op, are you going to pick a fair banana or an unfair banana?
Fair banana. Fair
banana.
A fair banana, because you can't pick an unfair banana because we don't have them. We don't even have them anymore. That's how good that is. So I'm going to share with you if I can find it. See if this is the right one. No. I'm just going to ask you the questions because I can remember them off the top of my head. So if you unmute yourselves, I've got some bonus questions. So, first question. Do you think bananas float? Do you think bananas float?
Yes. No. No.
No? Lauren, I think you're the decider on this one. So what if I told you bananas do float? They absolutely do. They do float. So when you pop them in a big bowl of water, they float on the top. So do you think in 2010, which was quite a long time ago if you think about it, 2010, is it true or false that there were 300 banana-related incidents in the UK? So 300 people in the whole of the UK fell over on a banana skin in the year of 2010.
No.
Do you?
No.
True.
Do you
True.
who said true? Jem, did you say true?
Yeah, I said
Oh.
true.
It is true. In 2010, 300 people were silly enough to fall over on a banana skin.
Can I just say that once I did fall over, but it wasn't a banana skin, it was a melon skin on the crossing. And I
A
fell
melon
over
skin.
on a melon skin, and I did think it ought to have been a banana.
Slidey.
Yeah.
See, we've got to, where do we put our banana skins when we finish with our bananas? In the bin, absolutely, because somebody, one of those 300 people might come and fall over on it. 300 incidents.
That could have been run over on the compost.
Yeah, and even better in the compost. Well done. So, my next question. This one's going to be a tricky one. Are you ready? Okay. In the UK, and that's just the UK, not the whole world, how many bananas do we eat in one whole calendar year? So from January to December, everybody in the UK, how many bananas do we eat?
150 million.
150 million. That's a big number.
200,000.
200,000.
550 million. 500 million. 250 million.
More.
800 billion trillion.
A little bit less than that. What if I told you in the UK, that's only the UK, just the UK, we eat 5 billion bananas?
I was correct.
5 billion bananas in the UK in 1 year.
Mostly Matthew.
Is that Matthew eating all of those bananas? You'll look like a banana if you eat that many. Absolutely. 5 billion bananas and that's just the UK. So, if we all eat 5 billion bananas, how many, and I'm looking for a fraction here, does everybody know fractions? I'm looking for a fraction. How many of those bananas are fair trade?
3/4.
3/4, do you think? That is a lot of those bananas being fair trade. I think it's a little bit less than that.
1/4.
Quarter. I think
A quarter.
half.
Have we got any advances on a quarter? What did we say, Owen? Nice and loud.
A third.
1/3. Well done. Yes, so 1/3 of those bananas are fair trade. There's not very many, is it? It's not even half. It's not even half. So imagine Foncho's farm in Colombia if all of those bananas had been fair trade. He could have a helicopter on his farm, couldn't he? He could have a helicopter. He could have his Lamborghini driving up to his farm, couldn't he? He could have all the workers. They could have a big village named after him, couldn't he, if they were all fair trade? So that means that we, now that we all know a little bit more about fair trade, we've now got to buy fair trade bananas, and hopefully that third will get a little bit bigger. And even if we can get it to a half, that's a nice fair trade banana, good example. So maybe we can get it to half. So half of the bananas that we eat can be fair trade. That'll be good. That'll help a lot of people as well, won't it?
Reflection on, you got your hand up, Fred.
Okay. Hit me up, Fred. What was your question?
Can we have another game? And can we have hangman? No. And can we have And can we have musical statues? Yeah, musical statues.
Okay.
This,
Okay. This is.
this is a different session, boys. So probably not. And carry on paying attention. Sorry, Kim.
That's fine, don't worry. But saying that, I have finished all of my fair trade content. So if we go back to Lauren, she might be able to treat you to